Up, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Got you guys, all you guys. So, yeah, glad to be here, enjoying the kind of end of the day. The clouds are starting to get pretty out over the golf course view that we've got right here, and I want to talk about the key to rapid growth, right, as an entrepreneur. And it's not another tactic or hack or strategy or funnel or all these things that we think like, oh, it's like, it's the latest greatest, and that's what can run you in circles, right? Is always chasing the latest greatest thing that's supposed to be the key, the answer, the one thing that's going to get you all the results in the world, and take your business to seven figures, and you got a whole bunch of all the stuff. And it's like, well, maybe, right, for the right people it is, but that's really the issue, is that most of these things are not the right thing for you at the right time. That's really the question to be brought into the equation of what's actually right for you. But more importantly, are you ready? Are you actually ready to succeed? So the real thing I want to talk about today is the idea of alignment. Alignment is the key, is the answer to stepping into success. Alignment, is what is it? It's like, why do you go to the chiropractor if you go to a chiropractor? I love going to a chiropractor because when you don't go to the chiropractor for too long, what happens? Your back hurts, right? So why do we go to the chiropractor? Because the back hurts and we want to feel better. Why do you want to feel better? So you can accomplish more, right? Like bottom line, why, otherwise what real motivation is there? Why would I go get my back aligned? Other than, well, I want to be able to play with my kids. If my back hurts too much, I can't really play with the kid, right? That's a problem. I'm going to go solve that problem so that I can live my life, So we go to the chiropractor because we want to get back into alignment. That's all they do, is bring your spine, which is made of all those, vertebrae, losing the words, but, the vertebra, when they're out of alignment, when they get tweaked out, what happens is your energy flow through your body gets tweaked out, gets stifled, suppressed, right? So, and that leads to pain. Okay, so when things are out of alignment, there's conflict, there's friction, and you get things like discs that are rubbing on each other, all these kind of bad things that are no fun, right? So what do you do? Well, you go to the chiropractor because, well, I want to get back into alignment. I want my spine aligned so that I can get rid of the pain and step back into my life, right? Living a pain-free life, living and doing and accomplishing all those cool things. It's funny, I'm just getting distracted by this platform telling me that, basically I can get message, like I can see messages or comments from everybody except for the platforms that I stream to, basically. So that was like, oh, so if you comment, I'll just see it later, and I'll try to engage with you then. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to engage with you live. But anyway, back to alignment, right? So that's what is alignment? We'll just think chiropractor, spine, right? You want your spine in alignment so it can hum. There's that. It's a beautiful place to be when things are in alignment. Well, we as human beings, alignment is something that applies on a much grander scale, right? It's a meta principle, and I always deal with principles. I don't deal with the hacks. If you're going to engage with me and you're going to track with me, you're going to see that one of the things I'm always doing is taking things down to the fundamental principles, because you get to the fundamental principles, that's where you have a life-changing effect, right? It's a deep effect. If we go all the way down here, as deep down as we can go, it's like geological strata, right? You get down deep, you have real leverage. If you're just sitting at the surface trying to move things, that's what hacks and gimmicks are. This thing to get more followers on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. Cool. That can be beneficial. But if you don't understand the principle at work, which is things like consumer psychology, what is it that drives marketing? What are the fundamentals of marketing? So you're not just going out there and spinning your wheels and hacks, right? But when you understand the fundamentals of marketing, you can replicate the hack. So there is, you can growth hack all you want because it's actually great strategy when you're aligned. So coming back to that idea of alignment being a meta principle. I would argue it's one of the most important principles, and that's why I'm calling it the key to to rapid growth, is because when you're out of alignment as a human being, What's that mean? Right. So there's a line we talked about, the alignment of the spine, right? When the spine's out of alignment, we're in pain, we go to the chiropractor. So when you're out of alignment, what are you aligning with? I believe that alignment, there's a whole lot of, just like the vertebra, right? There's the layers to it. And when these layers kind of shift, it's like tectonic plates shifting back and forth. They're out of alignment. Your life is hard. Life feels hard. And you're wondering, why is this so hard, right? Have you ever had that experience? Like, just leave me a comment. Let me know. Have you had that experience? I've had that experience over and over and over through my life where I'm just like, why does this feel so hard? I watch other people doing it and they seem to be doing it just fine. But for me, everything feels hard, right? Out of alignment. Okay, business, freaking hard. Why is it so damn hard? Well, because you're out of alignment. If you're in alignment, your business isn't so hard. It doesn't mean, do not mistake me to mean that like, oh, now everything is effortless and I sit on the couch and Ferraris show up at my driveway. It doesn't work that way. That's not what this is about. But alignment, right, is where we get the idea of flow state, being in a state of flow, right? Because you're in alignment, because you're moving towards that which resonates with you. So think about alignment like magnetism, or like flow of energy. Once again, which is what your spine does. Your spine is holding the whole neurological circuitry of your whole being, right? There's so much energy and electrical flow that's going through your spine. So again, you crimp the wires in an electrical circuit, you don't have as good of a flow. It doesn't work as well. So same thing with our own being. So let's look at it in a grander scale. What are we aligning with? Our calling. Calling is the thing that we align with as a person. So if you look at it, if we were to draw out a pyramid and align these stacks, right, the pinnacle is calling, right? You can, maybe you think something different. This is my approach to alignment. The pinnacle, what you're moving towards, what are you aligning with? Calling. Your purpose would be the other way to put that. What is your purpose or calling in life? And I believe that you have a purpose and a calling. It is something there that is calling to you, right? It is almost, I don't go into, it's not like predestined, but it's what you're meant to accomplish, right? Not predestined as in you don't have choice. We all have choice. We get to choose to live into our calling or not. But there is a calling. There's that ideal potentiality for what our life, what we're here to do, right? So that could also be referred to as the dream. The dream is that thing that lives in your heart and it calls out in your, it can feel painful. Why is it painful? Because because the pain is the realization of the lack, right? The pain is the realization of I'm not living up to my calling. I'm not living into my true potential. Right. And so, and what I love as entrepreneurs is we get to, our calling takes shape in our business and the business becomes part of the calling. So business fits into this stack of alignment, but business is one piece of it because business is really about mission. It's about action. It's about focus, which are all layers. If you're focused on something that's not in alignment with your calling, it's not going to serve you, right? Now there's conflict. You've introduced conflict into the circuitry, and you've disconnected from your power source because the power can, once again, I love just basic engineering principles. I'm not an engineer, but I did study engineering technology, particularly electromechanical stuff. So anyway, before I get too nerdy, what I just want to say is like electricity flows when there's points of contact. It can't flow in a vacuum. You don't just have electricity. A battery is not electricity. It's potential electricity. But the two connector, right? The two poles need to be connected for there to be electricity. So alignment, once again, it's like there's two poles of our alignment that we're looking to connect to our being so that we can step into the energy that is potential for you. So if you feel drained, if you feel tired and things are hard, you're out of alignment. It's a symptom of malalignment, misalignment of your being, of your life, and your business is part of that, right? So if your business feels hard and people are shutting you down, you might need some sales training, and I can help you with that. I've helped a lot of people sharpen up their sales skills exponentially, dramatically, become sales Jedi. But if you're not aligned, that means that there's a conflict within you if you don't want to sell what you're selling, right? That's fundamental. So we can do sales skills up here, or we can go down to, is this in alignment with your calling? That's where the leverage happens, is when you hit that rock, that bedrock, instead of trying to move the sand around, hustle, hustle, grind, grind. Alignment. Step into alignment, right? Your calling is at the top. So that's the pinnacle. That's what we're shooting to. And at the bottom is you, your person. And right? That's who you are. Okay. And there's a beauty here, which is they actually reflect each other, the polarities, the ends of the spectrum. When I say the bottom, I don't mean the base or it doesn't mean lower. It means that these are the 2 points that need to be connected. There is a tiering to this, but it's not like a hierarchy of one is better than the other. The one is the potential that we are moving towards, but the person layer, the bottom layer, the foundational layer of everything, and this is the other part that gets missed, is you. You are completely unique, and we're all told that, but somehow we forget that, right? And then we step into this trick of like, okay, well, maybe I'm unique, but business, I need this peel and stick strategy that, some guru said, well, it worked for me and it worked for my students, so it should work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, there must be something wrong with you, right? And then they're going to say, oh, it was your mindset. Maybe it was, but I also think they're wrong, because the other part of it that can be wrong, that, that's even worse is, well, if the strategy's out of alignment with who you are, you're always going to struggle to implement it. You can improve your mindset and that will improve your results, but it is not the thing that leads to results. That's what bothers me when there's a lot of this talk out there of like mindset is everything. Yeah, I love mindset. I love mindset work. We do a ton of mindset work, me and my clients, right? Because if you're not busting through your barriers internally, they're going to shut you down before you can get anywhere. Mindset really does become the ceiling of what you're capable of accomplishing. Okay, so I'm not here to undervalue mindset by any means, but it needs to be in proper context. It needs to be in alignment, right? Mindset is a layer of this alignment. Your mindset needs to be aligned with who you are and what your calling is. So, right, if you're trying to set yourself up with a mindset that it's like this idea that like, oh, I can mindset my way out of gravity existing. Yeah, and I'm sure that there's some of you out there would probably want to say, well, I think you could, and we could go down that rabbit hole of trying to argue about that. Let's not go there. Listen, you have a unique design. Tapping into that is what's going to help you tap into exponential energy and power in your business, which leads to exponential results. Okay, right? Because listen, time is our most precious resource, because time is the one thing you're not getting back. Your life is precious. Life is valuable, and so I think that there's something important in not just putting these things off, right? You have a calling. You already feel it. I guarantee you, right? If you have a business, it's because something inside of you wanted to have a business, and you felt like this is my path. This is my track in life. And now what? Do you feel stuck? I don't know where you are, right? But I mean, do you feel stuck in your business? Do you feel like I could be doing more? Do you feel like there's friction and it's turning into a grind? And then what? And then the general narrative is like, well, that's just business. That's just life. Well, I disagree, right? I disagree with that. I don't believe, right? Because when you're stepping into your calling, you're stepping into alignment with your purpose in life. That means that the way will present itself for you. You are stepping into what you are meant to do and what you are already equipped to do. Once again, calling and purpose being those polarities, right? But they already naturally align with each other. So the beauty of this, honestly, is it really becomes simple. So much of this work is really just gaining clarity, bringing awareness. When you bring awareness and clarity, most of it resolves itself. Which I think is part of the insecurity of a lot of coaches and gurus out there, is they try to make things complicated to, like, oh, it's really tough. It's really complex. We gotta, there's this mindset, manifesting technique that's going to take you like years to master. And no, it's not. You're already designed to succeed. It's already there inside you. In here is the key to your success. It's only a matter of unlocking it and getting you out of your own way. And that is what mindset work is about, but more than that, alignment. Because when we're out of alignment, we're just setting ourselves up for frustration and failure. So when you step into alignment, You're tapping into, I can't stress this one enough. You're just plugging in to your own energy source, right? Which is who you are. When you connect that to your sense of purpose, the electrical hum that happens, between those two polarities is immense, is exciting, right? I can't put words to it. It's like it's like the polarities of the earth. When we have this electromagnetic field that circulates around the earth, why there's two polarities. There's something immense and magical, honestly, about it. Magical in the sense of just mysterious, right? So there's something beautiful in the way that we are designed, that I think that we don't give enough just honor to or respect to. It's all God-given. Ultimately, all glory belongs to God. He's the one who's given you the gifts that you have in the first place. And that's the beauty of gifts, right? When you've been given a gift, it's not for you to hoard. It's like a tree, a fruit tree. What happens to the fruit if it doesn't fall to the ground, or be picked? If the fruit tree is shellfish. If the fruit tree is a shellfish, it lives in the ocean. No, if the fruit tree is selfish and holds on to its fruit and never lets it be picked, or drop, or if it holds on to it, it just rots on the branch, and it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy for the tree. It never actually, so because the fruit is meant for basically two things: either to become a new tree or to be eaten, right? To be shared with other creatures for nourishment and enjoyment, or to fall to the ground and the flesh of the fruit rots, basically fertilizes the new seed so it can grow well. Like, there's basically two reasons, right? It's not there to be held onto. So our gift is like that. It's not there for you or for me. We would be wrong to try to hoard our own gifts to ourselves and say, this is for me. It's not for me. My gift is meant to be shared. So that's part of the beauty of business, right? I'm always speaking directly to entrepreneurs, entrepreneur men. That's who I work with. That's who I help to succeed and step to the next level. Okay. It doesn't mean that these principles don't apply to women too. I mean, I think that they're just human principles. It just so happens that inside my mastermind, we're looking at implementing this specifically for men and having that mastermind community, brotherhood community. So that's why it's for men. Just to be clear, is because then we can support each other as men to grow into the men that we know we can be, step into that potential and through that alignment. So where was it going? Gifts, right? Gifts are meant to be shared, to be given. And business, is really like, your business is a beautiful thing when you're sharing your gift. If your business, then that's part of the alignment. If your business is not aligned with your gift, if somehow you're not utilizing your gifts. Now, not all of you are going to be like coaches, consultants, or something where you're more or less directly kind of like sharing your gifted knowledge or whatnot, right? Some of you are doing a service business or whatnot, but you still have a gift. And what I'm saying is, like, because my point is, gift doesn't mean knowledge or whatever. Like, for me, my gift is absolutely to draw out the best in others, to accelerate systems and to draw out the potential in others. That's my gift. I can see through things. I can see into people. I have an immense amount of insight. That's a gift. It's not something that I read a book on. It's who I am, So my business is built around that, because then I can show up and perform at my best and provide the greatest amount of value in the shortest amount of time. And then it's just, the results become exponential, right? So when you step into your gift and your business is aligned with your gift, your calling, your purpose, then, wow, you just step into exponential results. And that's why I'm saying rapid growth, exponential growth, explosive growth happens when you're in alignment. But when you're out of alignment, you're just fighting against yourself. You're fighting against your own purpose and calling. You're throwing your gift aside because you think, oh, well, I need to do this in my business, right? So once again, it might not be, maybe you're running a service business, you still have a gift. You have so many gifts, right? It's not like we just have one and that's it. Like, there's multiple gifts, and you also have talents. You have, so when you lean into your God-given gifts and talents, that's when your whole experience just becomes better and it's more fulfilling, right? Fulfillment is found in sharing your gift. Fulfillment is not found in doing drudgery work because what? Because you think you need to, because somebody told you that, oh, life is hard, business is hard, and you need to suffer and struggle. Suffering is a part of life. And so there's no getting out of that, right? But what do we do with the suffering? What are we suffering for? That's the question. So pointless suffering is just that. It's pointless. So don't suffer pointlessly, you know? And I'm not laughing at you by any means, because I understand fully what that's like. It's just like, it's time to break that cycle. If you find yourself in that situation, it's time to end the cycle and step into alignment, step into fulfillment, and experience rapid growth as a result. Okay. So that's yeah. I mean, I could go on forever, but I mean, that's the thing. You step into alignment. What's that look like? I want to take a minute to talk about the mastermind, right? It's not going to be for everybody. I want to be clear, but the mastermind is for men, entrepreneur men, who are ready to do just what I've been talking about and more, right? Basically, if this is you, if you're a man, you've got a business and you're ready to scale up your growth exponentially, okay? You're ready to step into your calling and your purpose and experience that kind of growth. Then this is for you, right? But you need to be ready. Like, I'm just being clear, not everybody's ready. A lot of people do lip service to growth, but growth is challenging. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth means you're facing yourself. You're coming face to face with who I am. There's accountability. There's responsibility, right? And that's just to be point blank, that's why most people don't grow, is because growth is uncomfortable. And most people the majority is more, is more interested in staying comfortable than they are in growing, because growth is going to take you far outside of your comfort zone. That I can guarantee you, right? But the other cool thing is, I can guarantee you that if you engage with the process of the mastermind, you engage with the system, then I will guarantee you a 2x ROI at least, right? Because everything here is meant to help you escalate your growth rapidly and quickly. Now, it's a year-long mastermind, but we're looking at increasing that growth in the first couple of months, just based on what it's going to be tailored to. What do you need right now to move forward, to take the next step? Now, the 3 pillars of what we're always going to be focused on. So, number one, business, because you're here to grow your business, right? So it's number one is business. Well, what do we do? What are those fundamentals, those principles? As I mentioned earlier, I'm all about the fundamentals and the principles, because that's what leads to, it's like Jordan Peterson talks about. You can learn to play a game, or you can learn how to play games, right? It's the whole idea of meta, right? So we're engaging with the meta of business, not just business hacks and tactics. So it's the meta business, so that you can implement that, infuse that into your business right now, and see those results. Because I promise, when you do that, when you learn the principles and infuse them into your practices right now, what happens is better results, faster, better marketing, more leads, more sales, and better systems, so that you can automate the machine so that it runs more smoothly and isn't taking as much of your time. So that leads right into the second one, which is performance, because nothing is going to get in your way or cripple you and hamper you more than basically what you're doing right now. Right? I don't know how else to put this, but one of the biggest things I always run into is most people are like, most of these guys I work with are just honestly spending too much time doing things they should not be doing. And because as a result, they don't have the time to focus on the things that are actually going to move them forward. So we got to tune up your performance, because you cannot, right? Once again, in engineering, you cannot just increase input to an inefficient machine, because what's going to happen, and this applies to your business as much as it applies to your performance. If you just simply increase input, all that happens is that you increase the inefficiency exponentially. Right? So what's going to happen? The machine's going to break. Your business is going to break. Nah, you're going to break. That's what's going to burn out. Burnout is real. I've experienced it. It's no joke. And there's no, we're not going to play chest pounding ego trip of like, who can do this is all about accomplishing more in less time. Because if you're just here to waste your time doing a bunch of busy work, then my mastermind is definitely not for you. Right? This is for men who are focused on accomplishing a great deal, living into their purpose, achieving greatness, right? This is about stepping into greatness. And greatness accepts no alibis. And greatness certainly does not accept spinning in circles, doing things that are just busy work that aren't really moving you forward. So it's time to tune up your performance so that you can accomplish more in less time. because it's one of the mysterious things of when you start valuing your time and actually focusing it more. It's interesting how, letting go of things. I mean, just one of the things I can just tell you right here, like the fastest way for you to move forward is to start saying no to probably a great deal of what you're doing right now. And it's scary. I get that. It's very scary because you think, oh, I need to do this, but that's a trap and it's a lie. Just start saying no to most of the busy work things that you're doing right now and start ruthlessly evaluating, is this actually bringing me return? Is this moving me forward? Probably most of what you're doing is not. Okay. So start evaluating, is this actually moving me forward? And then you got to evaluate, well, moving forward towards what? Right? And if that's a question, well, we definitely need to talk because you got to get clear on what are you moving forward towards. So anyway, I'm rambling, but here we go. Business, right? Performance, mindset being the third. As I said, there is, I love mindset. Mindset work is integral because like I said earlier, mindset becomes the cap, the ceiling. You cannot surpass, right? Of your own success, of your own growth, because you are the limit. You are your greatest liability. Okay. That's the hard truth. You are the only person that can sabotage you is you. The only person that can prevent you from stepping into your greatness is you. So it's time to get out of your own way, to reprogram the garbage that's up here that keeps you spinning in circles, doubting yourself, limiting yourself, playing small, playing safe, all these things that are preventing you from growing, stepping into your potential and your greatness. All right. So yeah, mindset is just, it's about busting through internal limitations, not sitting there and trying to figure out, perseverate over it. And, no, it's just time to move. I'm all about speed. We got to move and we got to move quickly, now so it's time to bust through the internal limitations at speed. Right. And that does include healing them at the root, but we're not going to spend all, sometimes what bothers me is sometimes it's just like spinning in circles. It's just get to the point, just jump right into it, lean into it. So that's the ultimate challenge is if the idea of leaning into the pain freaks you out, then it's not for you because this process will challenge you. It will shake you to the core, right? Because the reality is that you are at war right now. There is a war being fought for your mind, in your mind, right? The war is between greatness and complacency. It happens for all of us. We're all on that constant, eternal continuum between being the hero of our life or being a victim. That is the war, greatness or complacency. Do we settle and surrender and just give up? No, it's hard. It's not work, blah, blah, blah. Or do we step up and step into the potential that's already there latent within you so that you can step into your greatness, step into what you know inside of you already are capable of. It's just a matter of unlocking it, right? And the beauty of that is it's oftentimes just small little tweaks lead to exponential results. So so all three of those core pillars, right? Business, performance, mindset, form really a Venn diagram. The overlap of those three, that's the elite entrepreneur, is stepping into alignment in those three and constantly developing in the three core pillars so that we can operate at an elite level and experience exponential growth. And most importantly, achieve, step into your calling and purpose, step into alignment with it, because that's always an ongoing eternal, continuum too. I'd be lying if I said I believed that anybody has ever arrived. That's what I think is great about those who are already playing at the top of the game, at the highest levels. And I don't care if that's business or spiritual, really. Like anybody who operates at a high level is always very acutely aware that they have not arrived. They are on an ongoing continuum, and that's a foundational principle for me too. This is not about getting to a point where we've arrived. This is about constantly improving day by day, week by week, stacking the wins so that you and sharpening the mindset, sharpening your performance, and leveling up your business so that you can step into an entirely new experience of your life. So that's really my promise to you. You engage with the mastermind with me and you'll look back at the end of a year and your life will be unrecognizable from where you started. And and I'm putting an ROI guarantee. You'll see 2x ROI. So if that is of interest to you, great, reach out to me. You can comment on this video mastermind, and I'll know exactly that that's what stuck out to you and you want to talk more about that. Awesome. Or just send me a message, or you can always go to unshakable.pro. And there is an application there you can fill out if you want to just jump straight to that. Awesome. Either way, thanks for watching this. I would love to hear what was your biggest takeaway. Have you struggled with the symptoms of misalignment that I talked about? I mean, I don't know who hasn't, right? If you're out there, you're like, I've never struggled with anything. We all need to learn from you then. But yeah, no, I'd just love to hear what were your thoughts? What was your takeaway? How did this impact you? Has this brought you a new layer of clarity? And most importantly, how are you going to step into alignment in your life and business today? All right. Thanks for watching. We'll connect again soon.